So welcome everyone to Conscious Leader tonight. Tonight, our theme is how to fall in love. And I would like to introduce our speaker. It's Estrada Carol, who is going to talk about and share her experiences, her view. And I believe she's talking about how to fall in love in yourself. So that's an interesting take on the topic. And I'm so looking forward to it. And I'm going to sit and relax and I'm going to enjoy it fully.
Okay. Thanks, Yolanta. I think you need to enable me to share my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Um, it's an interesting topic. I hope I can give justice to the topic. I was telling Holanta, I was, oh, it's already this week. My talk is all about this one, and I haven't practiced too much, but I'll just do my best to deliver it as natural as I can, and hopefully, I won't bore you, and everybody will learn about this topic. So, yeah. So tonight we are here to explore a topic that is often overlooked yet profoundly transformative, and that is about how to truly fall in love with yourself. And would you mind asking? Would you mind if I ask, when was the last time you really fall in love with yourself?
A very long time ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody else?
Well, here you are when you're thinking, I don't know if that's what you mean. When I start thinking, so I am dependent on myself, I price myself whatever I achieve. So
Mhm.
I felt like, I am responsible. I am the one which I had to do. And I thought it's a laugh. And it was sometimes when I'm looking, I say, you've done very well. So that's my response to that.
Mhm. Anybody else? Holanta, when was the last
Yes.
time?
About me. Okay. So it's two sides. One side is that I praise myself and celebrate myself because I was able to turn around my ship and it was a winning ship. We were doing fine. But there was a voice from inside and I've decided to explore what is that voice about. And I celebrate myself because I'm totally now understanding. I have this understanding that I responded to the voice from inside to love myself, to really immerse myself in the things that I would be enjoying doing. On the other hand, I through this process, I've also pushed myself, I compared myself, I judged myself, but I have been working on that ever since,
Mhm,
and I'm
mhm.
getting better uh, because the most important is to enjoy what I'm doing, enjoying the trip.
Yep. Karen, do you want to say something or go on? Huh? Is she there? Okay. Is she there? Okay. Maybe I continue. um, well, in a world that constantly demands our attention, energy, and validation, falling in love with yourself can feel like an elusive concept. Yet, it is a crucial cornerstone of our well-being and happiness. Throughout our time together, we will delve into what falling in love with yourself truly means and why it's essential for our mental, emotional, and even physical health. We will uncover practical strategies, which I believe most of us have done or have tried or, experienced these insights, which can empower to nurture us a deeper and more compassionate relationships with ourselves. Because when you fall in love with yourself, you open the door to a life filled with acceptance, resilience, and genuine happiness. So let's embark this journey together tonight. Um, I believe as well with this topic, I basically just pick some. There's a lot of ways when I was looking up about how will I fall in love with myself. There's like 40, 130 steps, right? But I just picked seven, which I think could help us and which is also more relatable to me and which I have experienced in the past. And first thing that I have picked was about living your life by design. So with living life by design it means that we are purposefully designing each element of our world from family, business, and friends towards our definition of our success. Imagining ourselves like being goal driven every day and picturing ourselves like, okay, this is the person that I want to be becoming, being a goal driven person. Isn't it? It's attractive from afar, like looking ourselves like that. Would you agree?
This is probably, that's how we've been raised from the beginning,
Mhm.
to have
Mhm.
to set goals and drive for something, be motivated to drive, and that's how I've
Mhm.
been living all my life. But
Mhm.
then,
Mhm.
as you said, who am I becoming? That was
Mhm.
the question for me. Mm.
Yep. Okay, I'll just continue. And but like life is like a bonsai plant, right? Or a bonsai tree. It's a precious living work of art that can be shaped and cultivated with precision. With people who fall in love with themselves or who fall in love with themselves have carefully shaped and cultivated their decisions and behaviors so that they align precisely with what matters to them. They are intentional and deliberate. And with those people who love themselves, they know what when to say yes and when to say no to something. And they are rarely overwhelmed or overcommitted because they have devoted the necessary time to discover and articulate their values and priorities and have aligned their inner and outer resources effectively and realistically. So I think over time, when we go through a lot of experiences, that's the time that we are into this point, right? Like we know what to trim down. This is my priority number one, two, three, or etc. And when we reach that point, it's also becoming more attractive to our own selves, like from afar, right? Like when we say no to something or we say yes to something, we mean like we know ourselves already, and it comes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand with maturity.
Mm.
In essence, living your life by design encourages individuals to take an active role in shaping their own destinies, fostering a sense of purpose, fulfillment, authenticity in everything they do. And it's about with intention, clarity, and commitment. And living your life by design means emphasizing the importance of proactive decision making. So I think Holanta, I think at this point in your life, you were saying that you have made that decision, right? And I believe that it's the way that you have designed your life, and it's the way how you progress at to this point of your life.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, any questions so far in the Live Your Life by Design? Yeah. Or go on. Yeah. Okay. So,
Question I maybe ask is how one would know what is the intention? How should they be guided? Because certainly, I mean, I'm referring to myself, 20, 30 years ago, where I had certain directions, but there are certain aspects of me that I didn't really consider.
in my notes of setting the intentions, I think it's all about aligning to your values. If I if I answer it right, it's about being, if it's intentional living, or we can ask ourselves like, in every action that I do, does it align with my value, or my top one value now, or top three values now? So those type of question, I think, will answer that question.
And
Thank
I think in every step of the life, wherever you are, you have a different priorities and different view. So you're just making the best at the moment. So you're always learning something new and adjust.
Yeah. Looking back now, I see that there were some values. I had values that were not clearly defined by me, but somehow they were always driving my decisions. And only when I stepped in and I truly understand my core values, I could understand better why I have done certain things.
But for me, like, my life was lived by survival. So I lived from survival, from one circumstance to the next circumstance to the next circumstance, not taking a breath in between to consider that I had a choice. So it was a different kind of living. Very
Yes,
different.
that's very true. I think personally, I think that majority of us, we're living by survival, and because that maybe was the pattern that we have been given by the past,
Yes.
and we thought that's how we should be living.
Yeah.
It's only now that that we discovered that, and thank you for reminding this, Christina, because that's exactly what we have been doing. We've been surviving, not thriving.
Definitely.
Awareness, all of it, everywhere on the internet, in books and wherever. So we have a better picture where we're going. We have always compared with something.
Okay. Great. Yeah, so we go to the second point, which is manage your mindset, or manage your mindset and consciously work to be positive. I believe this might be a bit tricky, right? Especially like, what if we are in a situation where we cannot be positive at all, or depending on the current situation where we are in. Say, for example, we're going through something, we're going through stressful, or we're going through heartaches, or difficulty, or challenging situation.
But isn't the mindset a choice?
Um, could be, but can be challenged. Can be challenged at times.
I know it can be a
say
challenge, but
always.
it's also a choice.
Yeah, always.
Well, I
always.
believe anyway.
But the strength of the choice depends where you are at that point.
That's true.
It's connected with the awareness.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So so Christina, very rightly you pointed out that we always have a mindset, right? And so we thought that this is the right mindset, and it's only when we expand our awareness we see that, as you said, we have a choice to not to be aware, just follow that mindset. And it's only when we start to be more aware, we see there are many possibilities and we can tweak our mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yep. So going back to Christina's thing about mindset, it's that when you manage your mindset, it means involving or understanding how our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes are significantly impact our behaviors, emotions, and overall being. And awareness of thought is also about managing your mindset begins with becoming aware of your thought patterns. So we learned that, right, when we change our mindset or we change our thoughts, it's where our destination or where the energy will flow afterwards. So everything begins on everything that we think about every second or of every day. And it involves paying attention to the thoughts that arise in different situations and understanding how they influence the feelings and our actions. But recognizing the negative patterns as well could be a default to negative thinking, which limits us from the beliefs that hold us back. Managing our mindset means identifying these patterns and actively working to reframe them into more positive and constructive thoughts. So we may not avoid these thoughts, right? Like negativity, especially if we've experienced something in the past. But we have to know that our mind can only I think that's Think and Grow Rich saying our mind can only either choose a positive or negative one at a time. So maybe when negative thoughts is coming in, if we can change it straight away, okay, no, 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 it's not happening, it's not happening. Then we might change the words or the thoughts. Oh no, it will happen. This is successful, or it will happen. I can do it, or something like that. And in that way, our life will be filled with positivity most of the time. At the same time, it will expand to the people around us. Yeah. And again, the mindfulness and meditation will contribute to this step or to this idea, which is managing our mindset. We have different types, or we, of course, have experienced different types of meditation, like guided meditation, or even meditation while walking, or meditation with what do you call
Wind.
this, natural resources. They say when you have this mindful meditation with greeneries or with around the bush, around the trees, that's really helpful for our being, and that's beautiful for our mind. Yeah. Anything to add on this one before I move to the other thing?
It
Oh,
is true. So when you're in natural environment, you feel relaxed and your mind is clear. And you have that energy because wherever light is around and the calmness, the energy, the positive energy is flowing through.
yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing that I could throw in is that, going back to our word mindset, we might be setting mindset on a right journey, towards so we know how to reframe our beliefs and so forth. But but we might have a tendency of overworking, and so one way of rebooting our mind and changing our mindset, as you said, is mindfulness and meditation. So through meditation, we can kind of put it back to the start, and then we can set it again on the right track.
Great. Thanks, Solanta. And this third one kind of follows with the step number 2, which is live in the present moment. So it's kind of related, right? Like mindfulness or live in the present moment. The famous author Eckhart Tolle is talking about this, and there's a lot of benefits, though. Like that's what he said. what we all have is now, right? We don't have the past, we don't have the future yet. So what we all have is now. So why we might as well enjoy and live in the present moment. And but there's also a great contributor to being fully present. And any guess what it is? Like a main contributor to
Could you ask again?
what's the main contributor to be fully present?
Well, just I think look around, feel that atmosphere, because the feeling is giving the power really. So if you, in that moment, you have positive, normally positive feeling, of course, it depends where you are, but because if you're at work, you might not. But the nature is always neutral. So you have positive feeling. When you meditate, closing eyes, you are in different world altogether. So you are not disturbed, your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's awareness, I think, being aware of the present moment and being aware of what is it that is important for me. So, and being aware of, is my mind going to some past events and being triggered, or is my mind where I want it to be?
Okay. That's great, Holanta. But I think what Elizabeth mentioned initially is almost there. So it's basically positive thinking. That's the main contributor to be fully present. Because positive thinking bypasses the rage and inconvenience, allowing you to enjoy the moment and be fully present. Imagine like if you're not a positive thinker, you cannot think about now, right? If like even if we close our eyes, if we're not positive, we're still anxious about the past, then we cannot never be fully present at the moment. And by choosing to focus on positive moments in your life, you'll begin to reframe your thoughts, which is also related to what you, Jolanta, mentioned, cultivating an abundance mindset that is grateful and open rather than negative and closed off. And this is, you will develop the capacity to fully inhabit the present moment, to notice like unfolding in real time, and allows us to appreciate and relish every ordinary experience life has granted us.
I just wanted to make a comment about positive thinking. Because there's a positive thinking and positive thinking. I'm not promoting positive thinking in being in a kind of Disneyland world. So I am a positive thinker. That collect the situation to put it into the right perspective, but also being realistic of what is happening and what is affecting me. And some people take it to the extreme and they say, okay, we are going to be a positive thinkers, and they live in a Disneyland and totally unrealistic environment because they refuse the obvious things.
Understand. Yes. So be positive and at the same time be realistic.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's when for me the awareness comes in, and the mindset as the understanding that what is the reality, what are the facts, how can I put it together so I can turn it into positive, but standing on the ground rather than, okay, I can't deal with this, so I go to Disneyland.
It's just escaping on something.
Escaping, yeah.
True. Yeah, great insight for that one, Jolanta. Yeah, so now it's a bit tricky, but clean up your messes. That's what it's suggesting. And this means basically is it's basically forgiving ourselves, right? Like, what are the things that we have that we might ask ourselves, what were the mistakes in the past that we have done? Or it's a matter of self-reflection, because there are things that, we might have done wrong, or we may not, we of course are not perfect, and sometimes it lets us down. But in a way, to fall in love with yourself is that to make that quick amendments and begin again. Just saying, okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for myself, or I accept that it wasn't good, it wasn't right. But then I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to make changes and begin again. And on that inside of ourselves, we continue we continuously work and forgive, and we choose to grow again from that past mistake, and we unburden ourselves from any resentment. When we clean up our messes, it's a straightforward but powerful concept that extends beyond its literal meaning of tidying up physical spaces. It's a principle of responsibility, accountability, and proactive problem solving, and taking ownership, of course, and addressing issues promptly. Learning from mistakes is related to this cleaning up your messes, because it encourages growth mindset where the mistakes are seen as opportunities and learning, and continuous improvement of ourselves. And also, when we clean up our messes, the answer is that you will know who or what is keeping you captive in a prison of hatred or fear. And of course, we don't want to be stuck there, and we don't want to be there all the time, right? So once we clean up ourselves, it also gives us a lighter feeling, and we know that the answer is from ourselves, when we already have that feeling that when we cleaned up our own messes. So anything to add on that one? It might be might be easier said than done, right? Sometimes cleaning up our messes.
I think cleaning messes, it's everyday
Mhm.
experience. Like we clean up the house or don't,
Mhm.
we clean up our life. And so what I wanted to say into it, that if we put a label that we are creating mess, that
Mhm.
means that we became very cautious in not taking action. I say go for a mess.
Mhm. Mhm.
So keep doing the mess, because the world has been created out of the chaos, which means that we are creating magic when we are in the mess.
Mhm. Mhm. But
So
I think
so my thinking is that, okay, it's, we are in the process to bring greatness. We are creating a lot of mess.
mhm. Yeah.
The sculpture made of wood goes through the process of creating a lot of mess in the process to chop the wood.
Mhm. Yeah. Any addition to that? Based on experience.
Sometimes we do in mess which one they subconsciously brought to event, and then you thinking which way to go. For me, for example, it's a silence, because it's a reflection for somebody else and for myself. So I don't clean the mess, but I am giving time to heal itself.
Mhm. Mhm. And that itself would be cleaned up over time.
It does. It does. That's what I experience.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Next is keep learning and growing. So this one, I think we can relate to this one. Everybody of us, as conscious leaders, in order for us to fall in love with ourselves is the right, like we don't stop learning and growing. And when we see ourselves in the growth, side, we tell ourselves it's not yet, but it's not yet, the philosophy of not yet now, I'm still growing or something, instead of saying, oh no, I cannot grow or I cannot learn these things. It's a being open-minded as well. And this mantra encourages continuous personal, professional development throughout our lives. And with this instance, or with this idea, we embrace curiosity, we adapt to change, and we expand knowledge and skills. And it's a beautiful, beautiful outcome afterwards. We tend to be relevant, and we increase confidence and resilience over time. And I believe all of us in this group, as conscious leaders, have embodied this personal growth journey and personal growth subject. And we do not stop, right? Especially Lanta. Who's
Everyone.
doing yeah, and of course Elizabeth, Christina, and Karen, who's we are unstoppable in terms of learning and growing. And of course everybody would agree to that. I say.
It's so true that, for people who are coming here regularly, they have this value of learning. And learning is the fundamental of growth, and growth is a fundamental of humanity. We are brought here to life to grow, like
Mhm.
any other cell that grows on the earth. And so, I know we have been on that journey for several years, and for me it becomes normal. Yet I'm looking at other people, and they are in the race of, doing everything they need to do to survive.
Yeah,
And surviving, it's not our condition. Our condition is to grow.
true. And if we do not grow, and or we stop learning, we are not stretched, and we're just still in that position, right? We're not. It's like, imagine a life not growing. Um it's like an old person already, like we're just on our old self,
We're not
every day.
giving the justice to ourselves as
Mhm.
well. We
Mhm.
are forgetting about our responsibility to pay back for the opportunity to be alive, because
Yeah,
that comes with our responsibility to give back to the next generation.
yeah,
But
great.
Joe Pane says you're ripe and rotting or green and growing.
Exactly.
Nice.
But so many people are not doing this.
This is true.
Yeah,
We
because they
don't
don't.
realize we're the 1%.
Yeah. And for us, it's easy said. But I realized that, I need to kind of give a transition, give a hand to other people and tell them that true fulfillment comes when you start understanding yourself.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we're now on the sixth idea, which is connect deeply with others, like what we are doing tonight. Think we are not islands, right? We are gardens. People who are in love with themselves show up for others and deliberately invest in the relationships that form the tapestry of their lives. They are interconnected. They know that it's through community, not accomplishments, that we gain sense of belonging and meaning. Connecting deeply with others involve forming meaningful, authentic relationships that go beyond surface interactions. And authentic communication or empathy and understanding with others and building trust or shared values and beliefs contribute to this connecting deeply with others. Although in this world that we are in right now, right, it I'm not sure if you find it sometimes difficult now to, is there still authentic connection, especially for for young people who are into mostly gadgets or stuff like that. Like they might be in a virtual world, whereas us who are might be older than them, we believe that authentic communication or authentic connection still counts more than anything else.
Mhm.
Yeah. And lastly is about doing good in the world. So this is about finding more purposeful and meaningful actions in our lives, because people who fall in love with themselves can connect the dots between the work that they do each day and the way that it contributes to the world around them. They know that money is just one way to measure success. It's only just one, and it's not the only way to measure the success. In fact, they've learned that success is more accurately measured by the positive difference that they make and the way the work makes them and others feel. Good work connects your values and your actions, and it satisfies a craving to express your purpose and to do that in ways that align intention and impact. So again, I believe that every one of us in this community are doing good for the work that we do, and we are doing good for the world where we live in. And everybody, each one of us, I believe, has this intention of making this world a better place through our own words and actions, or even small contribution in our everyday living, not just in this group, but for other people, or even in our families or in the relationships that we create over the years. And anything to add to that before I finalize my topic? Anything, any more to add, or about doing good work in your world?
Look, I may be very idealistic, but I strongly believe that, by giving, we receive more.
Yes.
And yes, that measure that is given in the world, it's money, and money resolve a lot of problems. If we could just had enough money to pay our bills and do the excellent work for others, that would be great. But unfortunately, money is important part of the modern life. It probably was always important. But we have signs everywhere that when we do things for other people, we actually receive more.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
And people have experienced that they do receive more. It's just coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know, some of you might know more about this, but we need to send the message to the world that that we would like to receive even more. You know what I mean? Really.
Elizabeth, you have any final words to say?
Well, creating positive changes, actually. That's what we do in actually. When you grow, you have more to share. And then you receive also, so that works both ways. And of course, inspiring others is very important, because it's making that energy to flow. And the world is getting better then. Building community, of course. Love it. And yeah, I am happy. So you are in that. I am not yet, but hopefully with the books and meeting people will do more.
But individually, we can do only what we can do.
Yeah, that's right.
But not doing nothing, that's the problem.
Mm.
And I'm very grateful that we have this community.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
because
And
we have a similar view of life. And therefore we can even explore more and more, because I remember years back when I I was talking that way to some of the people in my material world, they would look at me and say, what is she talking about? I remember that look. They knew that I mean well, so they let me talk, but they were not really on that. I'd like to share that someone from my world, from my other material world, who I help a lot, and I always help, but I kind of put a message out that, come when you're ready. And they have approached me again, and we're meeting next week. And I'd like to see what because they're watching me, what I'm doing, and I have done a lot for them in different stages of their lives. And now I'm on a different journey, and they're curious, I assume.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching you.
You never know who's watching. So I'm doing my labs, going back to my YouTube experience. I'm doing my labs. They're not perfect, but I'm just doing them because I know one day that I will be swimming better.
True.
You can never become perfect if you don't practice.
we never become perfect, but at least, my goal is at the moment is so I can articulate in the middle of the night what I'm, what my message is, what is the biggest benefit that I want to create for others. What am I doing this?
Christina, you have something to add?
No, I was just agreeing with everybody. I do agree with everyone.
It's nice, but I think, Christina, you have a big job actually when you will go to internet and send a message via YouTube. That will really help a lot of people, because even those which are they sit on internet and watching YouTube for fun, sometimes it's something will be about the caring. They will at least want to know what they're serving.
Yeah,
So
and I think that's why I wanted to do it and was so interested in what Jolanta was saying. But I think it's really important that in this room we understand that each one of us has the similar message in our own niche. Just because mine seems like it's bigger at the moment, like each of your own niches are just as important as mine. It's just that maybe you can see mine a little bit more clearly, but we each have to get our message out. We each have to go and tell people. And I suppose I haven't been speaking enough about my niche. Maybe I've been looking for someone who can like cheer me on and sort of like connect. When you're an entrepreneur on your own, it's very difficult. But like that, having someone to like, just cheer you on would be nice for me. And I've got a lot on my plate, but I feel like I don't do as much as I should do. I should do more.
Yeah.
Because people need to hear what I have to say.
Exactly. And you rightly said, every one of us and you guys have something to offer. And I was actually recording something today for my niche, and I was referring to what excited me on the project, what excited me on the project that I was working. And, my specialty was always that I would take the challenging projects, a project that no one would like to take and no one would believe. And so what inspired me to it, first of all, that someone had trusted me. And then if during the complex projects that I was delivering, I usually have a team. So if they were in that state of trust, that meant the most to me, that they are in a state of trust that we are going to get there. And then
That's
we
true.
are going to deliver that magic. And so that common, and that's the positivity, that common trust and belief, and being in that state actually creates magic, because everyone thinking positively, and they all coming out with the positive ideas, constructive ideas.
I believe you 100%, but I think that you're missing a very important point, and that is that you, Jolanta, are the leader that's bringing those people together. So you're facilitating the change that enables other people to change, because not all are built as leaders.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with this. And so when I look back at my career, that was that link that I created. And to these days, that's why these people are coming back, because they believe that I was that leader that sometimes they didn't understand when I'm leading, but they had a full trust.
Yeah.
And once they had that full trust, that gives me, it empowers me, because then I know that we will get there.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
But I totally agree with you that everyone wants to be in that leadership shoes.
No, this is true. This is so true.
And it's okay, because, they may be leading their little piece.
So I'm putting my hand up if anybody would like to YouTube with me and kick me in the ass, then I'll YouTube with you and kick you in the ass.
What do you mean by that, YouTube together?
I'd like to do YouTubing. I'd like to do some more. I'd like to post more messages for my avatar. That is not, a paid event.
Yes.
Just get my message out, because I don't think I'm doing it enough.
Yes. So what do you expect us that we're cheering you on?
Well, I'm saying, is there someone else who would like to have a weekly check-in, or just support each other and go, okay, well, we're going to do it twice this week, or let's sit down and meet on Friday and run a schedule, or how did you have any trouble? Did you figure it out? Just someone to work with on the same project, go along and bounce ideas off.
Yeah, I'm in it, but whether you want to catch up on a weekly basis and have a little bits and pieces to move on.
I think so.
Yeah. We can create this a little additional support group, YouTube
sounds
support
great.
group.
Yeah.
And so what are you doing?
Everybody's thing, it's not going to be what everybody wants, but I think that I have the confidence to do in front of video. I just need to make the time. It's like cutting a lunch for me. I can sit down and do it at any time. I just don't do it because I forget to make my lunch.
Yeah. So let's maybe, I don't know, shall we, whoever wants to connect, so maybe send a message to myself and Christina. I know Elizabeth is working on that as well.
Yeah, there you go. There's three of us. That sounds beautiful. Sorry to gate crash your party.
No, I just realized, because I've been looking at the messenger at Christina, but let Ed's finish off and I will say something.
And I want to add something at the end as well.
Wait. Did I stop sharing, Jolanta, or no?
And you stopped sharing, yes.
Oh, stop sharing again. Now, actually, now I just want to share these lyrics from a song that we learned about one of the theater workshops. But it's, I think, related to loving ourselves as well. So this is the lyrics. Be gentle with yourself, my friend, my friend. I think I'm just going to sing it.
Go for it.
Yeah. So be gentle with yourself, my friend, my friend. Be gentle with yourself, my friend. One day at a time, one step at a time, one breath at a time, my friend. So yeah. That's how to end the thing today.
And we had a song at the end. Wasn't it great to reflect on ourselves? Thank you very
Yeah.
much,
Yeah,
Ed.
that's right.
That was
Welcome.
great reflection for all of us, and a reminder to really connect yourself and be grateful for what we are doing to ourselves.
Yeah.
We are here to to be gentle with ourselves.
Yeah. Be gentle with yourselves. Yeah.
Did we lose Karen, did we?
Yes,
Yeah.
we've lost Karen. Maybe it's already 15:15, so she might have wanted to go. I know she's busy now because she's working
Yeah.
as a nurse again.
No problem.
And she said she's doing some paintings.
No, she wants to do painting.
Oh, she
but
wants to
not
do.
doing it yet. Yep.
And before we have a chat, I just wanted to remind everyone that in 2 weeks' time we have Christina presenting, and the topic, the theme for August is, let me just read it correctly: finding emotional freedom.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
topic. So we will have Christina in 2 weeks' time and Elizabeth in 4 weeks' time. I'm looking
Now,
forward.
may I just speak into that for a little bit?
Sure.
For those who are interested, please come along and just listen and bring yourselves if that's what you would like. But if you would like to participate, I have here a little list that I'm just posting here for a few supplies.
Mhm.
We're going to do a little art project. So I want you to find some cardstock,
Mhm.
okay? Can be big or small. It can be the back of a cereal container. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be a piece of magazine, a book on a magazine, and some old magazines, okay? And we're going to cut out some pictures and we're going to make some cards
Mhm.
Mhm.
about finding our emotional freedom.
Mhm.
Like this. This is a
Mhm.
big one.
Mm.
So all you need to do is get some glue and scissors and a few little supplies, everything you should have at home,
Mhm.
and some cardstock or some heavy duty paper to glue it on. And we're going to go through an exercise about finding your emotional freedom and how to do an art exercise that will help you find emotional freedom and give you something to look at afterwards as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Cool. You're welcome.
Okay, so Christina, will you be able to post it in the group and tag everyone
No problem.
so
No.
everyone knows what they should be
Yep, I
preparing?
can do that as well.
Yes,
Right.
that will be fantastic. Now,
No.
the other,
Nice.
I'm really looking forward to that. So I have to remember to organize everything and have it ready in 2 weeks' time, and a glass of wine as well.
And a glass of wine. Yeah, why not?
The other thing I was going to say is I didn't remember what did I send to you, but I sent when I found it on YouTube, and that was one of the coaches from the MBA where I'm at. It's her name is Ludmila, and she was giving a comment for someone who is doing some posting, and that person is a caregiver, and it's only a few minute post and on YouTube. So I encourage you to listen to it as well.
Yeah. Just having a look at it now. Feedback to Kathy Ziola inside TAA. I
Yeah,
think I watched it. I'm pretty sure I watched it.
maybe you have.
Yeah.
So I actually took the tip for my own thing. I thought, okay, I tried that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is it. I'm gonna stop the recording because